running a double tank, double marksman composition, which has been coming out of Taiwan. It's quite, I believe it was SMG who've been playing it quite a lot. And it revolves around not actually going for team fights. So it revolves around the objective control. And Fennec and Slims are both marksmen who specialize in taking down tanky units on the opposing team. So got a bit of a tank shred comp. Whether it's going to work for them, I'm not quite sure, because AIN don't have an incredibly tanky team, but they still are high damage dealing marksmen coming out on the side of ST.
And they do have a lot of CC for ST. I mean, you've got the Thane who can lock people up. You've got the ultimate knockup from Ting, and obviously the long range spear from Zhanyo on that Slims.
Be interesting to see. So what I was saying about the double tank, double marksman composition is it doesn't revolve around team fights. It revolves around objective control, because you have so much disengage in the form of your tanks and so much engage as well. You can control the tempo of and with absolute certainty control when you want to have fights, as long as you're on the same page and you've got all 5 members there. And they use the marksman simply to poke at long range, keep the team at a distance, and then go for the fight when it's advantageous. Throw into that as well, incredibly good at sieging objectives. So tower sieges, poking long range on the buffs like Abyssal Dragon and Darkslayer, and just keeping to make sure they put themselves in the best possible position before they switch the defense to offense and take the fight that they will surely win. So we're jumping into the first map of our second series, AIN going up against Samsung TTP. First time Korea and Taiwan will face each other in the AIC.
A match certainly to pay attention to. Will be a signal of things to come. ST already taking that early invade over on towards the Sage Golem side this time. So something we haven't actually seen before is answered with AIN's own invade, which will get spotted out by the Fennec. And I think did Fennec steal that? Fennec stole the Sage buff, so that's a zero-sum invade for AIN.
It's not a great start for them. I do like that they've got Ryoma as the pick outside of the double tank, double marksman composition, because with Ryoma being out of the fight, Ryoma can sit in side lanes and split push for days. So you can run with that death ball comp with a double tank, double marksman, and leave Ryoma to his own devices. You can disengage, keep the fight at arm's length, and then when Ryoma has applied enough pressure, put the lane in a favorable position where it could potentially take the tower solo or take an objective while they're stalling out an impending team fight. Ryoma can then rotate, and as he gets into position, that's when they can switch on the go button and take the fight with that 5th member.
This is interesting, something we haven't really seen before. At the moment, they're sort of set up as a 2-1-2 in their lanes, ST. Haven't got anyone quite in the jungle just yet, but it looks like Hualin is going to just sort of be taking those mid-side jungle camps and trying to sort of just farm up wherever he can. Of course, no early kills going over, but already ST have accrued almost a 1k gold advantage.
Just coming straight from the buffs and the control they've had over the map. They're getting the Spirit Sentinel. Looks like it was going to be uncontested, but Pure, Chan, and Yuroke have moved over to contest it. They did secure it themselves, but when you commit that much to the top side of the map, it exposes Abyssal Dragon to be taken. And Samsung TTP, they take the first one of the series.
They have the run of the map at the moment. They're moving as a team, and they really sort of know how AIN are going to react, and they're reading into that and playing to those strengths. Now, AIN, they are not in the lanes as constantly as ST, which means they're going to be missing out on potentially a little bit more experience against their counterparts. AIN looking to try and take this Might Golem, trying to invade. Zhanyo getting picked up, but Slims just jumps over the wall. The buff, however.
Here comes the cavalry though. Malok with the knockup.
Is able to get 3, and there's the charge from Thane, and the triple knockup comes again. Zhanyo in the back will just deal out the damage, but Ting is able to close out the 2 kills. And that is going to be a nice pickup for ST.
What a beautiful setup by ST there. Malok initiates the fight with the triple knockup. Thane then gets the triple charge into his own triple knockup. All the while, Hualin and Zhanyo working away at the rest of the team. There was nothing they could do about it. They were just layered with CC for the entire duration of the fight. And here's a replay of that, so watch for it. They're forcing back, they're getting back underneath the tower, and this is where AIN needs to back up because they know the cavalry's coming. Malok jumps in, 3-man knockup. Thane with the follow-up of his charge into his own knockup. Lover from the side with the AoE spear chucks, just decimated that entire team fight. That is as perfect as it could get for Samsung TTP.
I mean, you say that, but what I think could have gone better slightly is probably the positioning of the ultimate from Ting. I mean, he did manage to get a knock-up on 3, which was great. Maybe it was slightly out of range, but if he'd have gone slightly closer to the river, he would have been able to get all 4 and also be on their back line, so they would have had to sort of choose. But over in the skirmish in the bot lane, it's just going to be Berry on that Zuka. We've seen Zuka be so good in these 1v1s before, and he's just going to keep going. But who else is going to keep going? It's going to be ST AIN coming in with the backup to try and find the kills, and they are going to do just that. 2 players going down already. Scott trying to find the knock-up, but Boss reads into it.
Should have been a little bit earlier with that knock-up. He could have kept Scud in tower range, potentially chipped a little bit more health off of him, and provided a chance for ST to potentially stop this might buff invade. AIN looking to take the Spirit Sentinel. Boss and Shan are in the area, and Scott can't go in solo, especially when he's playing a tanky hero like Vayne.
Trying to slow it down there, both teams sort of returning to their own sides of the map, returning to their turrets, returning to their waves, just making sure that they have the groundwork down in order to go for any more plays that they might be thinking of doing. Ting just trying to harass out Berry, but as I was saying before, Zuka is so good in those 1v1s just because the amount of damage he can put out so quickly and the stuns as well that he's able to land.
The biggest thing about Zuka's advantage is the chase potential. If you make a mistake and you're too far extended, he can stick to you like glue and make sure you are punished to the absolute degree of pain.
We'll see if he's able to enact that pain any further. AIN trying to rally around.
Look at the mid lane tower at the moment. It's nearly gone on the side of AIN because ST have just been peppering it with potential chip damage. Ultimate comes out from Fennec. We'll chip away at Euroke, and there's the follow-up just to make sure he has to leave this tower. He cannot stay under it. Trying to clear the wave, but this is the first tower going down for ST as Fennec just throws that final boomerang.
Oh, they go in. They're going to go in on the bot lane, but Lover just rolls on out of there. But here comes Malok getting the single-man knock-up, actually. Boss able to get away just
not enough support there on the side of ST.
Oh, here comes Scott. Is able to get the knock-up, the charge onto Boss. Yorioki still on low HP, didn't manage to go back to base, so they're not going to be able to take this fight, and they're just backed up yet again. That's going to allow ST to push in that bot wave, potentially look to get the turret. Also, the mid lane turret for AIN did fall.
So Ryoma was a little bit too far back to back up the Malok there with the initiation, so it was great at disengaging the fight and keeping Lover safe. He just couldn't follow up on Ting because he was so far back because he's playing defensive and didn't really switch over to the offensive mindset, shall we say. But Huaolin deleting that turret, and here comes the marksman duo with the invade.
Oh, you see Chan actually dashed over the wall and dodged into the spear from Shanyong's Slims. So he did get stunned at max range, but luckily his team was around him to save him on that one, save his bacon. But Spirit Sentinel does go over.
What we need to know about the double marksman, double tank composition is that when you have the lead and you're controlling the flow of the game, you don't need to stall out these fights. Every fight will be advantageous, so I think as the game progresses, as long as ST maintains this lead, they will be taking all the fights they can get and using these abilities to engage rather than deter the fights themselves. So I can expect a lot of aggression coming in the mid to late from ST, assuming AIN are there to challenge them.
Chan just on the sidelines, thinking of going in for the cheeky punish, but it wasn't to be. Now up in the top lane, you've got Pure versus Shanyot and Scott. The damage coming out from this Zill is so strong, but there's nothing you can do when you've got Scott, the CC coming through from that so strong, and Shanyot lands his spear, picks up the kill.
It was a beautiful bait by Zhanyou to leave Scott in that bush. You know, if you're Zill and you're looking at a marksman by himself, you're just going to go straight for it. 7-minute 30 Darkslayer. ST are in position for it. AIN have still got 2 members on the bottom side of the map. They're thinking they're getting a free tower at the moment, but they take the Darkslayer.
Ting is going to jump in onto 2 members of AIN, but they're just going to back off. The Darkslayer, though, did go over already, so they might have lost their bot turret, but I'll take that trade any day.
Absolutely, it's only the bot outer. Now they're rotating around to the mid lane. Fennec is already onto that mid inner tower with 4 members of the team here. Ryoma can't come in with the flank. Sorry, Zuka can't come in with the flank. Ryoma's going to chase him down. Berry has got the mobility to get away from this, but he can't get back to the base just yet. So Lover's just going to stick on him and make sure he cannot be unified with the rest of the team. Tracer's going to come in from the side.
Zoning.
That's a difficult situation. Hua Lin's gone straight onto him.
Yorioki, what are you doing? You're way out of position, and Hua Lin's going to capitalize. Berry finally getting caught on by the Ryoma, so they're going to find 2 kills in quick succession and start to push in down this mid lane. They have the Dark Slayer buff. They have the minion wave. They're versus 3 players. AIN on the ropes.
Nice zoning ultimate to keep them away from the tower, make sure they can clear that minion wave, get them this low.
Jumping in onto the turret falls. That's a quick kill going on, and they're trying to rotate it onto the other 2. Pure trying to find the damage. Does a pretty good job of surviving, but it's not going to last very long. The core being damaged. Chan goes down, and ST with a brilliant victory against AIN.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The strength